Hi Elvis fans, Tom Brown here. Another edition of Gates of Graceland inside the beautiful, incredible complex here at Graceland called Elvis Presley's Memphis. So many things to see, so many automobiles to see, and vehicles and things to move in of all types. And here to tell us about some that are new to me to see is Angie Marchese, Director of Archives. Great to see you.
Welcome to Presley Cycles.
This is nice. I'm looking here and I look out and I see motorcycles, I see golf carts, I see a tractor, I see Jeeps, but behind us,
boats.
I see boats.
These are two boats that we acquired back to the collection several years ago, and they've been completely restored before putting them on display here at Presley Cycles. We've got the Wizard ski boat, which is named after Elvis's mom, Gladys.
Right, yeah.
And as you notice, there's some paint chips and things like that on the boat. All of that is original. So when we restored the boat, we kept the original paint job as to keep the authenticity of the item.
Right.
And you also made a comment about how simple it was inside.
It's very simple inside. It's just carpeted and in a shell.
Yes.
And some seats.
Yes.
And that's it.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
And it floats.
Which is really
the most important
that's
thing.
Really, if you get down to it, that's the most important part. Elvis loved to get away, loved to get out. He loved his cars, loved his motorcycles. But there's a lot of footage and pictures of Elvis out on the water.
On the water, especially at McKellar Lake. In fact, Priscilla has very fond memories of Elvis taking these boats out onto McKellar Lake, which is not far from Graceland, and just for a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. And just kind of get away, go with the guys, and back the boats in the water and go have a good time. Where had these boats been the last few years?
Actually in our warehouse after we acquired them. Prior to that, they were in Las Vegas in a private collection, and they had changed hands a few times before that. So we've got the Wizard, and this one over here is a little bit more fancier.
It is. This is the Glastron.
It's the Glastron.
I'm thinking that it's a little bit more money involved.
A little bit more money involved in this one, yes. And you know where Elvis always sat, right?
I'm thinking he probably drove.
Yes,
or piloted the boat.
Or piloted the boat. Yes. So that was Elvis's seat right there.
Now, can you water ski with these boats? Or
you
are these
can.
just...
They're both ski boats, so you
okay.
can ski with these boats. Yes.
Was there any kind of competitive skiing?
My guess would be yes.
Yeah, there's pretty much always competitive something.
Something when you deal with Elvis and the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's lots of things to see here at Presley Cycles, so you want to go look at a couple other recreational items?
I'm so excited because of the way you have everything displayed. Even some of the items that were in the other complex, you know, that we saw for years, they were up and away, but now we can go right up to them and see them on the floor. So
and
I'm
see
excited.
in great detail about them that you never were able to see before.
Yeah, so let's go look at them.
Let's go look at some.
So many motorcycles here.
Of course, that's how it got its name, Presley Cycles.
Presley Cycles, yeah.
This is probably one of the best things I think we've discovered since we moved everything away from the walls in the car museum is the back of this trike. I mean, you get to see the engine and all its components, but my favorite thing is the license plate cover that says, "Keep on trucking."
Keep on trucking.
And then there are original stickers inside, registration
Memphis
stickers.
registration stickers. Wow. And what I've really noticed for the first time from this angle is it's a trike, it's a motorcycle, whatever the proper term is. I'm not a motor person, but I do know it's a 3-passenger.
It could be a 3-passenger bike.
The driver and 2 guests.
A 2 guest.
In a row. My goodness.
As we know, Elvis loved to cycle around town. So there's lots of photos of him using these super trikes, as well as a lot of the Harleys and other bikes we have on display.
Yeah. What is this right in the center of the console right here on the bottom?
It's the volume control for a radio station, it looks like.
That's what I thought, yeah. It almost looked like an 8-track player.
Yeah, but no, it says volume, balance, everything, so yeah.
So you got your own tunes on the motorcycle?
Yep, well there's the speakers.
That's more for the neighbors than
for the driver. Yes. It's for the surrounding cars as you're taking off down the street.
Because you keep a low profile, physically and by looks in a vehicle like this. This trike screams 70s.
It really does.
Yeah.
And something else I just noticed is the gear shift.
The gear shift on the side.
It's on the side versus being controlled by the handles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an anonymous vehicle when you're out on the road.
It really is. Incognito, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. What else we got? Oh my goodness, look at this.
Yes. You know, Harleys, Harleys, Harleys. 1976 Electro-Glide.
Yeah, this is a, I remember the movie Electro-Glide in Blue. That was a movie with, you know, about highway patrolmen and stuff and troopers. And this is kind of a trooper-esque
bike.
A trooper-esque bike from the 70s, Electro-Glide.
They were custom made for Elvis. We have two of them. They're both on display here. We have a black one, which you see here, and a red one. The red one has less than 1,000 miles on it.
Wow.
They're bicentennial models, and if we were actually wanting to take the seat off, there's a plate under it that actually says that it was custom made for Elvis Presley.
Yeah. These are great items. I mean, these are almost timeless too. That you'd see motorcycles today that look a lot like this.
Like this. They're very it's a very classic Harley-Davidson style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And think about when Elvis, you see footage and things, and when he's in cars, he's always driving. In the boats, he's always driving. He's always got people with him. But this is really a solitary kind of vehicle for him to have.
You really would think that, but there is a picture that we have of Elvis on this bike with Billy Smith behind him. So I'm assuming Billy was sitting either very back of the seat or on this thing.
On the luggage rack.
On the luggage rack.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So
it's the kind of thing that you probably find out new stuff all the time, photos and things.
Yeah, as we're finding photos and things like that, you can actually, you know, put into context where the bike was used and how it was used. And, you know, the other reason that Elvis had to buy so many motorcycles was because if he went riding, everybody went riding with him, and everyone had their own bike.
You don't just get one.
Yeah, you don't get one.
Yeah.
Elvis gets the Harley. You might get the Triumph for an Indian, but Elvis got the Harley.
Right, here they come.
Yep.
Here come those Presley boys again.
Here's another Harley. This is a Harley Chopper. It's a 1966 model.
I feel like you're a used car salesman showing me around your showroom, and I'm trying to make a purchase.
Yes.
I don't know. Let's tell me about this one.
A 1966 Harley, only 644 miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mint condition almost,
Now,
you know, classic chopper style.
Back in the day, did they take good care of these vehicles, or did they just...
Elvis used them.
Yeah.
Elvis was a user. Graceland was his playground. Memphis was his Audubon drive, you know, his everything. So, you know, they were well used. The bikes have since been, you know, hand detailed and preserved, and a little conservation work done on them and things like that. So for their preservation sakes. But yeah, no, Elvis was definitely a user of all of his fun toys.
Now, was there a brand of motorcycle he favored over others?
Harley. He was a Harley guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have a Honda. In fact, we have his Honda Dream on display as well.
Yeah.
And he did buy some Triumphs, but they were for some of the entourage members.
Right.
Normally, Elvis was on the back of a Harley.
Yeah, and that was early in the career when he got his first motorcycle.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like the pink Cadillac and then a Harley. Were like the first two big purchases Elvis had.
Yeah.
And of course the Harley of the 50s was really the whole, you know, the rock and roll style, the leather jackets, the rebel without
Marlon
a cause.
Brando, the
you know, so
wild
it
ones.
just screamed that the future king of rock and roll would have a Harley.
Yeah, the kids today, they're riding around on their motorcycles up to no good.
Up to no good.
Yeah, oh my goodness, there's just so much here.
Here's the red Harley I mentioned.
Yes, the 1200.
And again, less than 1,000 miles on it, bicentennial model, custom made.
Yeah.
And behind you is a Honda Dream. This is a 1965 Honda.
From Al's Cycle Shop in Memphis, Tennessee on Summer Avenue. Yeah.
And this Honda actually has 1,071 miles on it.
So that's a
The one thing about the bikes is they were used locally in Memphis only. They were not things like the cars that he would take cross country with
back
him,
and
back and
forth,
forth. The bikes were strictly used here in Memphis.
Did he have California bikes?
Not that I know of. In California, it was always vehicles, always cars that I've seen him pictured in, and I don't have any paperwork of him owning bikes out in California. Now, there were bikes he would rent and use on movie sets. You know, there's a famous picture of him on the set of Follow That Dream. But those were things, those were kind of one-offs. It wasn't like a thing like here at Graceland.
Right. Now, if I'm a director of a film that Elvis is starring in, or I'm a producer
I know where you're going with
putting
this.
money into this, the last thing I want to see is one of the most beautiful people that ever lived.
On the back of a bike.
On the back of a motorcycle.
Especially Elvis.
Especially Elvis, who is not known to take care. So how did the studios, how did Colonel, how did Vernon feel about
the bikes.
All of this, yeah.
You know, I think that it was probably would have been more of an issue if it was happening nowadays. I think back then that even though Elvis was the star, there was insurance on him and things like that, but I'm not really sure if anyone paid attention to how reckless or careless or dangerous bikes could be at the time. And again, Elvis really didn't use them a lot in California.
So they wouldn't know.
So they wouldn't know. It was more of, I'm on my free time at Graceland and this is what I choose to do.
Now we talked about him, you know, being out there and pedal to the metal and all that, but he was really a safe driver,
a very
too.
safe driver. Yeah, he really was. In fact, you know, very few speeding tickets, except in the 50s, going from show to show. You know, not very many accidents that we have records of. You know, in fact, one of the only accidents we have records of, Vernon was involved in, not even Elvis. You know, so very safe driver and things like that. So
are there more things out there that you want to get to put in Presley Cycles and with the boats
gosh,
and the motors?
there's so many, because Elvis did have so many different bikes and types of bikes and things like that. So being able to acquire more of those would be great. You know, we do have all three of the super trikes he had custom made for himself here in Memphis, so that's a really great addition. I mean, the one thing I love about Presley Cycles is that we've got Presley Motors, where we have all of the cars on display. And in Presley Cycles, we've got the motorcycles and all the fun recreational toys that made Graceland Elvis's playground.
What I love too is you've got a little go-kart over there, which is probably souped up. You've got even a sled.
A sled. Well, the sled's funny because that's what Elvis used to use with the golf carts. He used to combine 2 in 1. So you would sit on the back of the sled that he would tie off to the bumper of the golf cart as he would take you down the drive at Graceland. Safe.
Yeah,
safety
I was going to say safety first, But I just love that you can go all around, you can walk around and see everything. I love the golf carts.
And then a new addition to the exhibit, which hasn't been on display in a long time, is Lisa's golf cart that Elvis got her as soon as she could reach the pedals. She was driving around the property just like her dad.
Oh my goodness, such danger. And the pink Jeep that I used to see years ago out in back of the mansion. When
and it was used by the gate guards to walk around property and drive around property and everything like that. Kind of a tongue-in-cheek joke that it was purchased after the filming of Blue Hawaii. The guards were complaining about having to walk the property all the time, so Elvis was like, I'll get you a car.
So you got him a Jeep?
I'll get you a pink Jeep.
I'll get you a pink Jeep. Yeah, I like that. Well, it's just so great that you've had an opportunity now to bring everything out, to restore it and bring it out. Not just dust it off, but
not just dust it off, to have it the items completely restored and preserved for generations to come see.
Well, hopefully you've seen something here that you haven't seen before, and even if you have, it's a whole new angle on it.
Whole new experience.
Whole new experience. So please come to Elvis Presley's Memphis. There's so much to do here, and plan on spending a lot more time than you used to at Graceland. There's a lot to see now.
Yes, there's so much to see, and the best part about it is that every time you come, you can explore it a different way, and it's a different experience every visit you make.
Even in this section, if you're a motorcycle person, you want to come.
You want to come see the cycles.
See the cycles, and I think I've made my choice. I think I'll take the Bicentennial Harley.
Okay, let's go write that up.
Go talk to your manager.
Okay, I'll go talk.
You work out some financing. That's Angie Marchese, Director of Archives. I'm Tom Brown. This has been Gates of Graceland. Please watch some of the other episodes you see right there on your screen. Be sure to check it out and tell us what you think about it down in the comments. If you've got any questions for future episodes, any suggestions for future episodes, let us know.
Bye.
I'm going to go crank her up.
Bye.